Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do a video, as you can probably see from the title or the thumbnail, makeup routine hacks and tips that I have been using lately, and just different ways of doing your makeup that I wish I knew earlier to make my skin look a lot nicer. And these are some things I've been using very often nowadays in my makeup routine. I want to share it with you guys because I love sharing all things makeup, whether it's products, it's different routines and different looks. It's just, I love makeup so much. And yeah, this is the final result. I hope you guys like it. I know it looks just like every other look I do, but I swear, I promise there are subtle changes. I don't know if you can see it, but I can, and I love it, and I want you guys to use these tips and tricks as well. So let's just get into it. First of all, I love using my concealer / color corrector before my foundation. It's something I always like to do, but nowadays I'm using it more. I'm very much influenced by, I think, Ellen Beauty on TikTok. She's an Australian makeup artist. She's awesome. She does a lot of these underpaintings, and I feel like it does help my makeup look a bit more flawless because I guess it's because concealers are more like oil-based and foundations are usually water-based, so they do not mix that well when I put concealer on top. So I've been using my concealer underneath my foundation and it looks great. So today I'm going to use the same, I think this is called the Cover Perfection pot. So you have 3 concealer shades, and I love using the green one here to cover up my redness. So if I have a few problem areas like my pimple up here, I like to just dab it on around the nose, like that is very red. And I just like to use my fingers because I feel that the warmth of my fingers really melts the product in and it looks a lot nicer. As you can see, I have quite a few problem areas lately. The weather has not been kind and the stress of uni is really picking up. Now I'm gonna get this peachy salmon shade, and I'm actually going to just lightly dab this under my eyes because I do feel that I have some dark circles lately, and this really helps correct that. Can we see how immediately my dark circles are like gone? And the thing about doing your concealer underneath your foundation is you don't need to blend it out really nicely. It literally can just look like a splotch because either way you're going to put on some extra coverage on top, so this will be fine. And what I love to do next is actually go in with a layer of facial spray. This is the Pure Lotus Jeju Lotus Leaf and Lemon Mist. I really like this one. It's an oil and mist hybrid and it really helps just juice up the skin. This does have vitamin C in it, so it really helps to brighten your skin as well. But whilst we wait that dry, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to use for my foundation. This has been a go-to lately. This is the Romand Nu Zero Cushion, and this is the collab with, what is it called? Sanrio. Yeah, I did a review on this. I really like this cushion. I just haven't used it enough, and lately I've been looking through my skincare and makeup routine as well as collection, and I realized I need to use this more, and I have, and I love it. What I love about cushion foundations is that they're so easy to use. You just literally pat and it looks absolutely incredible. This also lasts really long. I wore this the other day to uni for like 8 hours and it was hot. It was like 35 degrees and it looked great. So this is a really good cushion and I've been using it a ton. The foundation is complete, looking really nice and flawless. And once again, I want to remind you guys, I use the darkest shade of foundation in Korean Beauty. So they need to up their shade range. But I really like how my skin still looks, and I love especially around my nose how it just went in so nicely. It doesn't really like, I don't know, it doesn't just settle immediately. It's just a great foundation. Next up, we're going to powder my skin, and I'm going to use the Rare Beauty Loose Powder in the shade Light, and I'm going to show you guys a technique I've been loving to set my face. As always, I have some on my lid and I got my trusty powder puff. I'm going to get some powder onto my puff like so, and this looks like it's really heavy, right? And usually what I like to do is I just go straight onto under eyes. But again, something that Ellen Beauty taught me was that you start with the bottom of your face and you slowly move up, because that way less powder and product would be up here and the chance of it creasing will also decrease. And I was like, that's so smart because our chin doesn't move as much in comparison, so the chance of it caking and creasing will decrease. Look at that. That looks flawless. My skin looks so great and you can still see some of the shine underneath as well. But I love this technique. I did not ever think about that. It's just so smart. And last but not least, don't forget the forehead. The forehead, I'm not too fussed about. I can start in the center and just move on the outside perimeters because I don't move my forehead as much. Guys, the base just looks so flawless right now. I'm absolutely in love with it. And next, what we're going to do actually has gotten me so many compliments. Like, people normally do not compliment your makeup out of the blue, and I've actually gotten like at least 3 people in one day tell me this looked really nice the first time I wore it. So I'm going to share it with you guys. And what I had been doing lately is I've been using my Hourglass Ambient powder trio situation, and I've been just taking this one as a bronzer all over the skin because this is a finishing powder, so it's actually meant to make your skin look a little bit more juicy and flawless. But because the shade's a bit darker, I don't like to put it all over, and I just put it on the perimeters, and it looks so natural yet bronzy. It just makes your face so framed. It's really pretty. So we get our tapered brush, and what I like to do first is I like to use these two first and just put it on like the center of my skin ever so slightly, like so. It just brings some like shimmer and liveliness into my skin, so just ever so slightly, very little, and you can see how it gives my skin a little bit of that shine, but it's not super obvious in person. And now what I like to do with the shimmer on my brush, I like to go in really heavy with the bronzer, and now what I do is I'm just gonna go in and tap it on the perimeters like that, and just use it as a bronzer blush hybrid and put it all over the skin. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know why I never thought about using it. Like, even the advertising says it could be used as like a bronzer, but I just never did that. Oh, I don't know why, but this looks so good, right? It just looks like your skin, and I like to even bring it a little bit higher up because it's warmth. I just pretend it's like a blush, and look how cute that looks. Literally, right? Oh my gosh. And don't be afraid to bring it down as well to your cheeks and chin a little bit. Look at that. My face just looks so framed, and it looks just really balanced and healthy. I love it, and it looks like this glow. It's not like it's a powder, it just looks like my skin, but better. I absolutely love it, and I can see why people actually can notice and make a difference, because usually I use a lot of matte products, but I think dewy products is where it's at if you want like a skin-like finish. So yeah, this is expensive, but I highly recommend it because you actually do get a lot of use out of it. And I've actually decluttered my 6-pan just because that one was like blush and highlights, and I found myself not using it as much. This is the more subtle version, and I can see myself reaching for it a ton. And just because this is something I can use every day for no matter what look, whereas those blushes, I don't know, I have a lot of blushes, but I don't have a lot of finishing powder, so this is quite exciting, and I do recommend it because just look at the effects, it looks phenomenal. Now, we did technically put on a little bit of blush and bronzer, but I do love just adding a little bit of pinkness into my skin, and I love my Up Hue Juicy Pung blusher. This is my favorite blush of all time. It's like this putty formula. It's like a cream powder hybrid, which is why I feel comfortable putting it on top of powders because it just melts into the skin. And what I like to do, and I've been doing this for a while now, is I like to put this quite high up onto the cheeks like that, just on the center of my face. I've been loving putting on the center of my face now, and it just adds like a little bit of juiciness to the skin. And I also just brush whatever excess I have onto the eyelids. That way everything is just much more cohesive and beautiful. And also just have a little bit on the nose, on the chin, whatever's left over. There may be nothing left over, but I think it's still really pretty to do it. I still think it's worthwhile just to tap whatever remaining excess is on to your face, and I just think it just makes everything tie in together. And you can see my base now looks so cohesive, and it just looks much more put together than just foundation, right? And everything looks like it melts in together. So I've been loving this combination lately, and I am running out this blush. It's almost empty. I really need to repurchase one. I love this blush. One of my favorite formulas. It's like the MAC Glow Play, but a lot cheaper, and I do like the natural finish of these. For eyes, I've been keeping it super simple lately just because I feel like I'm more into the minimalistic makeup at the moment, and it's the most wearable and flattering for every single day. And I like to put on my makeup after my clothes, so sometimes I just match to like the vibes and the effort. And usually the effort is like 0 because I need to get a train. But I've been using this palette again a lot. I'm back into it. This is the Dark Seek Autumn Breeze number 10. This is just a perfect nude palette for every single day. What I like to do is literally take the 2 base shades and pop it onto my lid, so at least we have some powder to work with. And already that's half of my job done because it has a little bit of that cool brown tone in it. And oh, look at that. My eyes already have depth and dimension just from that initial sweep. Next, what I like to do is I'm gonna take this cool matte brown and I'm just gonna sweep it on the outside corners of my eyes like that, and then take that down onto a lower lash line like that. You guys know, like, just from when I was like applying it, I have really red under eyes, probably because of lack of sleep. But what is really nice about that actually is that I don't need to put too much eyeshadow on it if I want like a nude or natural look. And honestly, this is what I would settle for. And then I just take one of these stunning glitters. I'm gonna go in with the center shade today, put a little bit on my ring finger and pat it on the center of my eyes. Now what I love to do actually lately is I always like to just bring a beige shade eyeliner and just fill out the outer corners of my eyes here, because that makes the illusion that my eyes are a bit bigger and more innocent looking, which I really like. And mainly it just makes it look more awake as well, because the beige, it's not as intense as a white, so that it doesn't stand out too much. It still looks very, very natural. Can we see that? That opens up the corners of my eyes and my eyes actually look a lot bigger this way. Last but not least, what I really like to do lately is not take a brown or actually a black eyeliner. I like to go in with this red kind of shade. It's a bit of a burgundy, and I like to just draw out a very subtle wing. And sometimes I even go on the inner corners and draw out that inner V. Now I'm just going to quickly curl my lashes, and one thing I love doing is holding my first curl really long and then doing shorter little curls upwards to make sure my eyelashes are extremely curled throughout the day. And I feel like this helps it last longer as well if you like go up in increments rather than just one go. Look at that. Can we tell a difference? I can tell a difference. Like, that's a huge difference without mascara. Mascara, still into my Peri Pera all black Enquiries. This is awesome. This is clear set, and I feel like this is the one that I can use forever for any occasion because it can be subtle, you can build it up. It's just amazing. Now you may be wondering, when are you gonna do your brows? Well, that's because I usually do it when I wait for my mascara to dry now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the darkest brown in this Dark palette and just quickly go through it. Done. My eyebrows are naturally really strong, so I really don't need to do too much to it, but this is basically what the framework of my makeup looks, and we're going to top it off with some lippies. I've been doing my lips a little bit differently lately because I can't remember who it was, but I think it's like one of those like British girl makeup videos, but you have a really strong top lip and then a lighter like bottom lip, and then it's like glossy. I just really like it. I'll show you guys what I mean, but I've been loving this Air Perez lip cocoa crayon. This is in the shade Brave. It's this beautiful neutral peach, and it is actually made in Italy. So we first trace the top lip, and I look like I have a moustache, and then fill that in, yeah, and then smack our lips together like that. How pretty is that? And you can see the top lip is still a little bit darker. So what I do now is I actually take another lip crayon or lip liner. This is the Roman Lip Matte Pencil, and this is the shade Kaya Beige. So it's a lot lighter, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill out the bottom lips. I just love how that looks lately. I know it might look a little bit strange, but far away, I really like how intense and defined the lips are. And when you smack your lips together, they're bound to mix. And I just, this just looks so cute in my opinion. I really like this look, and I think it is so unique and different from what I usually do. And yeah, I just think I love how my makeup looks lately when I wear it like this. I just feel like the base looks nice, the eyes are nice, everything just matches and is cohesive, which I love. Sometimes I do like to go in with a little bit of gloss, so let's do that. This is the Wayne Goss, I think it's just called lip gloss. Yeah, the High Shine Gloss in Hyacinth. So it's a nice pinky shade, so it like combats like the brownness here. I like to put on the center. How cute and pretty is this? This gloss, I really like how it's pigmented as well, and it looks really, really juicy. I don't like how there's a mint scent to it because it doesn't plump, so I don't understand why there's a mint scent to it, but it's really pretty nonetheless. And that is the makeup done. I absolutely adore how this makeup turned out, and I hope you guys can take away some of these tips as well. I think definitely my makeup game has been improving now that I'm wearing it a lot more, and because I'm finding ways to perfect my existing routine and make it more minimalistic. I think these are just some tips that I'll be using for a long time, and there's subtle changes, but I can see changes in my skin, and obviously other people can as well. So I hope you guys can take on board some of these routine changes and make your makeup game just a tad better than it used to be. Or you might already be using this and I'm just behind on the trends. But yeah, that is it for today's video. If you did like it, please give a thumbs up or even subscribe to my channel. Let me know down below if you'll be using any of these tips, or if you have any other extra makeup hacks you want everyone else to know about, me or everyone else in the comments or people watching these videos. But that is it for today, and I'll see you guys for the next one.